Hello, beauty-filled world. Blessings to you on your Thursday, February the 13th of 2020. I am Shae Bryant, and I am Sovereign Shae. And this is the I Am Sovereign Shae show, big mouthful, which is a social media show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm doing it on both Instagram and on my personal Facebook page, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 and 9:15 a.m. Central. And this is for us all to explore and to experiment and hopefully to evolve our self-sovereignty as well as our spiritual sovereignty in a time and in a world that desperately needs us to do so. I don't know about you, but I believe that we are born on earth for a purpose, which is to learn to return to love as source, as the source, as our fuel source. And so my own life's exploration has been about that. What I do as a job, as a transformational spiritual life coach, teaching embodied movement therapy, all the things I do is about this. It's about a journey to sovereignty in oneself. And so this is an opportunity for us together to explore that. And the reason, the impetus, for this is that I changed on Instagram the name from Shae Bryant Wellness, my Instagram page, to I Am Sovereign Shae. And I want to express and remind, if you saw last episode, because this is episode 2 of this show, that the most powerful words that we ever say are I am. And so I am, how about that, really stepping into that and really stepping up my game on honoring my word. And I know many of us out here, especially particularly in the female gender, have restrictions in voice. And we feel the challenge of stepping up and stepping fully into the power of our voice and also what we want to say. So I know my own sovereign journey from extreme disconnect and, self-harming and everything that goes with that, to now that the medicine that I offer others has come from that. So the journey in and of itself was to sovereignty. And so this is my own medicine, but this is also the medicine of all of us. Your own sovereign journey, the journey from your own disconnect, and then how you have had to learn or you're gonna learn, right? We're all learning, so there's no, unless you're fighting it, but otherwise you're learning to connect further. You must connect to self, connect intimately to nature, to the moment. It's about connection. That is the key to life. That's the healing balm to addiction. It's what we all need. We need connection. Well, I teach, and because I have lived through immense disconnection, from almost dying from anorexia nervosa, from bulimia, from multiple suicide attempts, self-mutilation and other ways. The story is dark and deep, as many of our stories are dark and deep, because disconnection is dark and deep and horrible and nightmarish. I know it very well. And because I have climbed myself up out of that, slipped back in it, climb back out, slip back in it, climb back out, the only way that I am able to stay from the abyss is if I offer myself connection. Is if I offer myself the loving kindness, the curiosity as I heal, instead of the critiquing and the judging and the hating that I formerly gave myself. Because that was a fuel source that I used, for example, to be half the body weight I am now in my darkest days of anorexia nervosa. I had to keep this fuel of hatred going. Now, there's a huge source of, supply all around me to find that, right? That helped fuel my anorexia nervosa and a lot of my depression. But this is radical. It was me who was keeping it going. I kept feeding the beast within me. And once I really awoke to that, I was able to see, well, could I just feed it something else instead? You see, just noticing the mechanism that is within us. We are actually, the majority of the time, feeding our own beast. So taking responsibility for, what are you feeding it? You have to notice when you are critiquing yourself. You have to notice when you are. You have to notice and then choose differently. Oh, it's a radical act. We think of people being radical and activists and doing all this stuff out in the world. And yeah, it's impressive. It's awesome. Try being non-judgmental for 24 hours with yourself. Try being kind through something challenging with yourself. Try that on. You want a peaceful world? You want to end war in the world? Try it on in here. It's a radical act of self-sovereignty to finally end the war within yourself. And to say, because I exist, because I was born, I actually believe that there is an innate worthiness within me. And maybe I haven't found it all yet, but I know there's people out there who have, and I'm going to listen to them, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going within. I'm going to keep choosing kindness to myself in any moment that I can. In any moment that I wake up to the fact that, oh yeah, I have a choice in this moment. I could be kind. So this is stepping into your sovereignty, not in from the ego, not sovereignty as in I have to protect myself and I have to act a certain way or I have to look a certain way or I have to do a certain thing. That's not sovereignty. Sovereignty can't come from something that's going to leave you. Things that are just temporary, built on air and sand, such as your body, that's not you, such as your job, that's not you, such as your education, that's not you. What is you at your essence? That is where you would find sovereignty. And so, I am sovereign Shae, fill in your blank. I am, that is your sovereignty. Just you and your name, just you that you exist. And you learning to value yourself for your own beingness, for your own existence. It's a radical, revolutionary act of activism in this world. Because if you started approaching yourself with more kindness and opening the door to look within with more kindness and seeing more and changing the relationship that you have with yourself, you would become what I call sovereign soft. Because you're soft on the inside with yourself. And that makes you unfuckwithable on the outside. Because anything that's in here, I'm going to be kind to myself through and with. That is a promise, the sovereign statement I have made with my soul, with my heart, with myself. So noticing the power of those words, I am, and what you are placing behind them. That is your sovereign word, stating your sovereign truth, creating the reality that you're going to be living. Please recognize that power you have and change it. Change this voice you can. And any moment, wake up to it and make a radical, because this shit is radical, choice to be kind. To choose a kinder thought. Just a little bit of kindness. Just a little bit. Just ease off just a little bit. Just be softer just a little bit. This is my goal for today and every day henceforward, because this was the healing medicine that came through my own journey. This is the gardens that, flourished from my anorexia and my depression and my self-harm and my disconnect and so many of the stories that we share in common, right? Because my story is not unique. It's simply a story of disconnection to connection, of self-harm to self-acceptance, to self-appreciation, to self-love, climbing the ladder to get there. I encourage you, I support you, I'm sending you love for this journey. It is truly the holiest journey you could ever take. This is the activism, you guys. This is the most radical thing that you could do to change this world and this planet. My God, is to be the love that we need. To be the love, and then you can bring the love. You got to be the love. Yeah, and then you can bring the love. Sending immense love. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to be doing this. I am Sovereign Shae. Instagram page, personal page, 9 and 9:15 a.m. until otherwise noted. And I'm just going to take the last minute here to express that my door is always open to anyone who feels called to reach out to me. I start off, whether it leads to us working together or not, it's just a phone call experience of what I do. So if we've never done that before and you feel drawn to that, I would love to go through that together. Yes, let's say that you're like, oh my gosh, Shae, yes, I'd like to work with you. I do have personal, private phone coaching, transformative spiritual life coaching. It's for any subject in your life to radically shift it. Because if you radically shift in here, you radically shift out there. I have Sovereign Soul, I have Sovereign Body, I have Sovereign Business. They're amazing coaching programs. Also want to mention that April 1st, the 7-week online course, The Sovereign Shift, is starting soon, April 1st. It's a 7-week journey. I do live calls, you get PDFs. It's pretty damn fun. For what it is, it's a little potent package where you can explore this further. It's a great price, only $222 for the Sovereign Shift. Might want to check that out, sovereignshift.com. And so excited. The Pilgrim Within 7-month virtual spiritual pilgrimage starts June 1st. It's a 7-month journey from solstice to solstice. You can see I'm lighting up. I can't wait for this to start. Details are on ShaeBryantWellness.com. Got a lot of exciting things this year. Just excited to be here with you guys. And to be. Sending immense love, support. Reach out. See you next week.